Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Victor again with my Ioniq 5. Today's video we'll be going over the 3 ways that you can buy an Ioniq 5 in the US market. I've had a lot of people ask how to buy one, and I've seen countless discussions about placing an order in the US market. I'm not sure if it's just confusion based on terminology or if dealers are actually just not telling the truth. But you'll see here why I'm going to state there is no way to place an order in the US market. For those of you outside of the US market, here's a look into the free-for-all battle that US customers are facing. I know in other markets where orders are possible, the Ioniq 5 is probably already sold out for 2022 and even 2023 model years. So here are the 3 ways. Number 1, buying off the dealer's lot. Number 2, getting on the dealer's waitlist. Number 3, priority bank. So going in reverse order, a lot of people may call this a priority bank order, and maybe that's the right name, but it doesn't quite fit the definition of an order. Let's say we order something on Amazon. When you physically hit that place order button, it sends you an order confirmation number, which acts also as a receipt. You're able to use that order confirmation number to track the progress of your order, which is pretty standard protocol. In this case, you and that vendor, Amazon in this case, have entered into an agreement where they promise to deliver goods for the amount that you paid. But that's not how Priority Bank works. Right off the bat, there is no order confirmation number from the factory. There is no build number from the factory. Sure, the dealer can make you an invoice number, but that doesn't help you track your car because they are not making a car specifically for you. This Priority Bank request or order or whatever you want to call it is not an agreement between you and Hyundai's factory. There is no promise, there is no guarantee to deliver a car matching the specs that you requested. All it is a request from the dealer to the factory asking for a car that matches the specs that you requested. Here's something that I pulled from online. I think they said it the best. It makes it sound like they work for a Hyundai dealership as I pulled this from a Hyundai forum. Now, I have no idea what the exact process of Priority Bank looks like, but I saw on Reddit where a salesman stated all they were doing was writing your information and your desired car specs on a piece of paper and then sending it to Priority Bank. I'm not sure if it's being faxed or emailed or being entered into the dealer's portal. What I can say though is that it does not appear to be something that all dealers are doing. In fact, it seems like most dealers are not doing Priority Bank requests. Which leads to the next point, which is still related to Priority Bank. Does it actually work? In the sense that does it help you get the car that you want any faster than just being on the dealer's waitlists? Now, honestly, I don't know. The fact that not all dealers are using Priority Bank makes me think that maybe it's not going to do much for the Ioniq 5. Maybe it works better for lower volume cars that don't sell as quickly. In that case, maybe it does make more sense for the factory to send the dealer what that dealer is requesting. Now, I would love to hear from buyers that have gone through the Priority Bank system. My understanding is that after your request has been put through the Priority Bank, you still end up on the standard waitlist just like everybody else. Let's say you want an Atlas white all-wheel drive limited car. Well, if there are 6 people ahead of you that want the same car, you're going to be number 7, and it doesn't matter that you did a Priority Bank request. The dealer is going to sell them an order based on the waitlist, and you would still have to wait your turn. The second way to buy an Ioniq 5 in the US market is to hop on a dealer's waitlist. Using that same example with the Atlas White all-wheel drive limited car, if there are 6 others ahead of you, you're going to have to wait until it's your turn for that specific trim and color. There's some confusion still with this waitlist part, as some dealers may be telling customers that an order was placed specifically on their behalf and that they just need to wait patiently. Of course, maybe there's confusion with the terminology or misunderstanding or miscommunication somewhere, but as we previously discussed, there is no way to place an order with Hyundai in the traditional sense. You can try your luck with Priority Bank, but again, there is no contract with Hyundai. There's no guarantee that they will honor that request. Hyundai decides where to send what cars, and your dealer is essentially just a lot that receives whatever is sent to them, and then they sell whatever is sent to them. The term you're going to hear a lot is allocation, meaning Hyundai allocates or sends an allocation of cars to dealerships. those dealerships cannot change or modify that allocation. They are just receiving it and then selling it. Well, so then what's wrong with a dealer saying that they've placed an order on your behalf? Or what's wrong with a customer believing that they've placed an order with Hyundai directly? Well, what's at stake is your time. Some, not all, but some of these dealers are doing refundable deposits. So if you told me it was refundable and I knew that the dealer had no control over what cars and how many cars they were getting per allocation, then why wouldn't I put a refundable deposit down at multiple dealerships at the same time? There's a chance I might be number 7 in line at dealership A for this color and trim, whereas I might be number 3 in line at dealership B. But by not knowing the full truth, I could be sitting here locked into dealership A, and now dealership A has a never-ending pipeline of customers just waiting for cars because they told you that they placed an order just for you. The last way to buy is directly off the dealer's lot, which in the current market, there's just so much demand that this option is pretty unlikely unless you're looking for an SE trim, which is our base trim here in the US. Otherwise, you'll have to pay a huge markup, probably about $10,000, and then you might find an SEL or a limited trim car sitting on the dealer's lot. Now, back in February of 2022, when I bought my car, buying off the lot was the only option. I called about 15 dealerships within my local area. All of the incoming cars seemed to be held for the original pre-order reservation holders, as no dealership would even take a deposit when I offered. They all said they were first come, first serve, and that I would need to wait for the next allocation. Now, there's a whole thing with those pre-order reservation holders where, again, Hyundai didn't make cars specifically for them. So when random colors and trims started showing up, their local dealer would give them a call and offer it to them. But surprise, surprise, some of these dealers were adding huge market adjustments or markups so that these reservation holders either had to pay the markup or decline and then find a different car themselves somewhere else. So I jumped into this right after that initial wave of cars had arrived. And if you watch one of my earliest videos about how I bought mine at MSRP, then you'll know I eventually got a call back from a dealer about 2 hours away. They said that they had a limited car coming in a few weeks. That sales guy told me, hey, I told everyone else I have a buyer lined up, so as long as you show up the day after this car arrives, you should be able to drive home with it. Now fast forward 2 weeks, I had tracked it daily, and all of a sudden, the time on the delivery date changed to 8 a.m., which I had read in the forums meant the car had arrived, even if the status hadn't changed. I called my sales guy, and he called me back shortly with the bad news that another sales guy had already sold it the night before, immediately upon arrival. And at this point, I was pretty much worn down as I felt like I'd exhausted all of my local options. But I did one last desperation search. I widened the parameters a little bit, and I stumbled on Hyundai 112. I called them, and they said they had 3 limited trim cars sitting on the lot selling for MSRP, but first come, first serve. So I scrambled to set up a one-way rental car, take off from work, and I bought my current Ioniq 5 from them about 36 hours after that phone call. So that's a bit about my story. Clearly the market has changed quite a bit since then. So it really is to your benefit to understand the ins and outs of how your current market is selling the car that you want. If a dealer tells you that they can place an order for you, try asking questions like, will I get a build number? Do you mean priority bank? See what they say, because if they don't explain the allocation system to you, then possibly they're just trying to keep you locked onto their waitlist. So that's it for this one. I'd love to hear stories of how you guys bought your Ioniq 5s or EV6s. I know there are a ton of crazy stories and a bunch that actually went surprisingly smoothly. So let us know in the comments section below. Really looking forward to chatting it up with you guys there. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.